For a long time, most of us learned to look at money in a very simple way, as something that comes to be spent. You work, receive your salary, and soon think of everything you can buy. That new outfit, a special dinner, or maybe that television you've had your eye on for months. Money becomes almost like a prize, a sort of reward for the effort of the month. But the truth is, money can be much more than that. It doesn't have to be just something that comes in and goes out of your account. If you change the way you see money, it becomes a powerful tool, a means for you to achieve important things in life: security, peace, independence, freedom. Think of it like this. Money is like a toolbox. If you only use the hammer, that is, only spend, you're leaving many other tools unused, those that could help you build a solid future, achieve bigger projects, or even give you peace of mind to not worry so much about the unexpected. When you start to see money as an ally and not just as a simple reward, everything starts to change. You begin to make smarter decisions, plan more calmly, and feel less pressure to spend in order to feel good. And you know what's better? When you use money as a tool, it works in your favor and helps you achieve goals that once seemed far away. Now that you've started seeing money as a tool, it's time to learn how to use it right, like someone who really knows what they're doing. Think of a construction foreman. Before building a house, he doesn't go buying bricks and cement haphazardly. First, he makes a plan. He measures the land, calculates materials, organizes time, and distributes tasks efficiently. With money, it's the same thing. You need a plan, and that plan is called a budget. A lot of people avoid this word, thinking that budgeting is complicated or boring. But the truth is, it's like drawing the map of your own financial life, and you'll see that it's simpler than it seems. A simple way to start is with the 50-30-20 rule. Imagine that all the money you make every month is divided into three large parts: 50% for what you need, housing, food, basic bills; 30% for what you want, leisure, trips, things that bring you joy; 20% for your future, savings, investments, debt repayment. When you organize your money like this, everything becomes clearer. You no longer feel like money disappears without you noticing, and most importantly, you begin to gain control. Now imagine this: you're trying to run a marathon. You want to go far, but you realize you're carrying a backpack full of stones. Every step gets harder, your body gets tired faster, and no matter how much you try to speed up, the weight on your back pulls you back. This is exactly how toxic debt works in your financial life. These debts, usually those with high interest, like credit cards, overdrafts, or poorly planned loans, are like those stones. They don't just tire you out, they also drain money that could be used to build your future. The first important thing here is to face the reality head-on. It's no use avoiding the bills or pretending the problem doesn't exist. Sit down, calmly grab a pen and paper or a spreadsheet and write down all your debts, the total amount, the interest rate, and the term of each one. Only then will you understand the size of the backpack you're carrying. Now comes the strategic part: how to pay them off faster and with less pain. There are two very efficient methods you can choose from. Avalanche method. You focus first on the debt with the highest interest rate. You pay the minimum on the others and put all your energy and extra money into this more expensive debt. Once it's paid off, you move on to the next highest, and so on. This method saves more money because it eliminates the highest interest. Rates first, snowball method. Here, you start with the smallest debt. You pay the minimum on the others and quickly pay off the smallest debt. This gives you a quick sense of victory. After this debt is out of the way, you use the money that was going to that debt to pay off the next one. It's like creating a domino effect. Each debt paid off motivates you to keep going. It doesn't matter which of the two methods you choose. What matters is not stopping halfway. Every debt paid off is a stone you take out of the backpack. And the lighter you get, the farther you can go. Here's a secret that few people talk about. Getting rid of debt is not just a financial relief. It's an emotional relief too. Sleeping peacefully, without that nagging thought bothering you before you close your eyes, is priceless. Little by little, you realize that the money that was once going away to pay interest starts staying in your hands. And that's when you begin to build freedom, and you know what happens when you're in control. Money stops giving you headaches and starts working for you. You know exactly how much you can spend, how much you need to save, and what you're building to achieve your plans. Managing a budget is just like driving your car with a firm grip on the wheel, without letting the turns catch you by surprise. When you understand how money works, you can make decisions that bring you closer to financial freedom. Since you're here, I want to offer you something special. A free ebook with simple and practical tips for organizing your finances and starting to build wealth. I've only released a few copies, so the first ones to access will secure theirs. The link is in the description. Download it and make the most of it. Now let's continue. Imagine this. You're trying to run a marathon. You want to go far, but you realize you're carrying a backpack full of stones. Every step gets harder. Your body gets tired faster. And no matter how much you try to speed up, the weight on your back pulls you back. This is exactly how toxic debt works in your financial life. These debts, usually those with high interest like credit cards, overdrafts, or poorly planned loans, are like those stones. They don't just tire you out, they also drain money that could be used to build your future. The first important thing here is to face the reality head-on. It's no use avoiding the bills or pretending the problem doesn't exist. Sit down, calmly grab a pen and paper or a spreadsheet and write down all your debts, the total amount, the interest rate, and the term of each one. Only then will you understand the size of the backpack you're carrying. Now comes the strategic part, how to pay them off faster and with less pain. There are two very efficient methods you can choose from. Avalanche method. You focus first on the debt with the highest interest rate. You pay the minimum on the others and put all your energy and extra money into this more expensive debt. Once it's paid off, you move on to the next highest, and so on. This method saves more money because it eliminates the highest interest. Rates first, snowball method. Here, you start with the smallest debt. You pay the minimum on the others and quickly pay off the smallest debt. This gives you a quick sense of victory. After this debt is out of the way, you use the money that was going to that debt to pay off the next one. It's like creating a domino effect. Each debt paid off motivates you to keep going. It doesn't matter which of the two methods you choose. What matters is not stopping halfway. Every debt paid off is a stone you take out of the backpack. And the lighter you get, the farther you can go. Here's a secret that few people talk about. Getting rid of debt is not just a financial relief. It's an emotional relief too. Sleeping peacefully, without that nagging thought bothering you before you close your eyes, is priceless. Little by little, you realize that the money that was once going away to pay interest starts staying in your hands. And that's when you begin to build freedom. Now that you've started eliminating toxic debts, it's time to take a step that for many people is a true game changer. I want you to imagine this. Every month when you receive your salary, it's like being at a market and several stalls are calling you. The rent stall, the electricity bill stall, the grocery store stall, the credit card stall, everyone reaches out first. And before you know it, there's nothing left for you. The rule many follow without realizing it is, pay everyone first, and what's left I save. The problem? There's almost never anything left. That's why now you're going to change the game. You're going to start paying yourself. First, yes, you are the most important person in this line. Here's how it works. The moment the money hits your account, the first thing you do is not pay bills. The first thing is to set aside an amount for yourself. This amount goes to your savings, emergency fund, investment, or whatever goal you're building. And here's the golden tip: automate this transfer. If possible, set up your bank so that as soon as the salary hits, the amount you've chosen goes straight into your investment or savings account. That way, you won't even feel like the money passed through your hands. It'll simply already be working for your future. You might be thinking, "Oh, but I earn little. There won't be much left to save." It doesn't matter if you start with $50s, $100, or tens. The most important thing is to create the habit. Over time, as your income increases or your expenses decrease, you can adjust this amount. What matters is that you've made it a habit to put yourself first. Think about this. If every month you save a little, what seems small today, a year, 2 or 5 years from now, will turn into a safety cushion or a passport to realize your dreams. Paying yourself first is like planting a tree and watering it a little at a time. In the beginning, it seems like nothing's happening, but when you least expect it, you're reaping the fruits and resting in its shade. So far, we've talked about taking good care of the money already in your pocket. But now it's time to take an even smarter step, making money come from more than one place. You know that old saying, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket"? Well, if you depend on a single salary, you're putting all your eggs, that is all your security, in one basket. What if that basket falls? What if you lose your job or have an unexpected event? Everything's at risk. That's why, if you want to build a more secure and stable financial life, you need to start thinking about new sources of income. And look, nowadays the possibilities are bigger than ever. I'll give you some practical examples. Extra income with skills you already have. Maybe you know how to bake delicious cakes, fix computers, teach English, or sew. What you do well can be turned into a service or product to sell in your neighborhood or online. When you start investing, you can generate income without needing to work extra. For example, stocks that pay dividends, real estate investment trusts, REITs that pay monthly rent, or investments that generate interest. The rule here is study well before investing, but understand that money can also work for you, renting out assets you already have. Do you have a spare room? You can rent it. Have a car? You can work with transportation or delivery. Have tools? You can rent them to those in need. The secret is not overloading yourself by trying to do everything at once. The secret is to open your mind and realize that there are many ways to create new income streams. Even if at first it seems small, over time, these incomes add up and can make a huge difference. Think of this as building multiple rivers that flow into the same lake. When one river dries up for a while, the others continue feeding the lake. This is what provides stability and peace of mind. And there's more. When you develop new income sources, you also grow as a person. You learn new things, explore other areas, and discover talents you might not even know you had. Now that you've started investing, there's one simple rule you should never forget. Don't put all your money in the same place. It's like that American saying, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket." If you put everything into a single investment and it doesn't perform well, you lose a lot. But if your money is spread across different places, the risk is lower and the chances of earning increase. Here's what that looks like in practice. Mix stocks, bonds, and real estate. If stocks fall, maybe real estate or bonds will balance it out. Invest in different sectors and companies. Don't stick only to tech or just energy. Have a bit of each sector. Also, consider international markets. Having investments outside the US can help balance things even more. Diversifying is like building a championship team. You don't rely on just one player, each one contributes in their own way, and together they help you win in the end. It's that simple. Diversify and sleep easier. If you want to build real wealth, you need to think long-term. There's no magic, formula, or quick way to get rich. The key is to have patience and spend less than you earn. When you make more money, the temptation to spend more arises. But the secret is to keep your lifestyle simple. Don't increase your spending just because your salary went up. Instead, take that difference and invest it. The longer the money stays invested, the more it grows. This happens because of compound interest. The money starts generating more money on its own. It's like planting a tree. You water it, care for it, and wait. Over time, it grows and bears fruit. Having patience also means not getting scared by market fluctuations. The value of investments may go up or down from time to time, but in the long term, they tend to grow. Moreover, living below your means gives you security. You'll have an emergency fund, won't depend on debt, and will have more freedom to choose how you want to live. In summary, spend wisely, invest patiently, and let time work for you. Those who follow this path build a solid and peaceful financial life. Perhaps up until now, you've thought managing money was too complicated, but now you see, with simple steps and discipline, anyone can change their financial life. The good news is that you don't need to be a financial expert to reach your goals. What matters is starting, taking it one step at a time, and staying focused. Remember, time is on your side. The sooner you put these habits into practice, the faster you'll see results. Imagine this: in 1 year, you could have your finances organized, be debt-free, and have investments growing. In 5 years, you could have the freedom to travel, start a business, or even retire early. It all starts with small decisions, like the ones you're making right now. So stay on track. Your financial future depends on what you do today. Every choice matters. Now that you understand the path, it's time to act. And I need to tell you something important. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It won't come. The right time to start is now, with what you have and where you are. It doesn't matter if today you think you earn little. It doesn't matter if you feel behind. What really matters is starting, even with small steps. Here are some simple actions you can take today. Grab a pen and paper or open an app on your phone and write down all your expenses. Knowing where your money is going is already half the battle. Choose an amount that you can save every month, even if it's small. Automate this amount into a savings account or investment. This way, you won't even have to think about it. The money will go straight there. List your debts, if any. Organize them by priority and start paying extra on the one with the highest interest. The feeling of eliminating them one by one is liberating. Research a simple investment. It could be a fund, an ETF, or a fixed income bond. You don't need to invest a fortune. The important thing is breaking the barrier and starting. Review your expenses. There's always something you can cut or reduce. That extra money can go toward your investments. These actions might seem small right now, but over time, they completely change the game. Think of it like a staircase. You don't jump from the first to the last step all at once. You take one step at a time, but with every step, you're closer to the top. And when you look back, you'll realize how much you've climbed. When you start taking action, something powerful happens. You gain confidence. You realize you can control your money. And this spreads to other areas of your life. More peace, more security, more freedom. When we talk about money, many people just think about accumulating more. But the truth is that money by itself isn't the end goal. What you're really building is freedom. Freedom to choose where and how you want to live. Freedom to say no to jobs or situations that don't align with you. Freedom to help those you love without fear or anxiety. Imagine waking up and knowing your bills are paid, that you have an emergency fund, that your investments are growing without you having to work all the time. That's peace of mind. That's living with tranquility. It's not about luxury or ostentation. It's about having choices, being able to spend more time with family, going on that dream trip, or simply not worrying about the end of the month. When you manage your money wisely, what you're buying is time and tranquility. And time, that's the most valuable thing there is. Think about what you want to achieve. Imagine the life you want. No financial worries, with more time for yourself and the ones you love. That future is within your reach, but it depends on the choices you make today. If you follow the path we've outlined here, controlling your spending, making smart investments, and living below your means, you'll be creating a solid foundation for a life with more freedom. And more importantly, you'll be creating a legacy for your future and future generations. It's true that the journey may seem challenging at first, but remember, big changes begin with small steps. It's not about transforming your financial life overnight. It's about staying focused and taking one step at a time, without rushing, but with consistency. You'll notice that as time passes, those small decisions accumulate, and you'll see results. Not only in your bank balance, but also in your confidence, control over your finances, and peace of mind. It's not about having more money, it's about having more control. Now imagine 1 year from now. If you start today, you'll be a more secure and calm person regarding your financial future. Perhaps in 5 years, you'll look back and see how much you've grown, how much you've overcome. You'll realize that the effort was worth it, and that all those small daily choices made all the difference. Transformation isn't something that happens by chance, it's something you build. And the good news is, you've already started. Every action, no matter how small, takes you one step closer to your goals. You have everything you need to achieve the financial freedom you've always dreamed of. Now it's up to you. The first step has already been taken, and it might just be the most important one. Don't wait to start. Do it now. The future you desire is waiting for you. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends who also need to hear these tips. Let's help even more people transform their financial lives.